Hello kids, how are you today? Welcome to today's class. The topic for today is history of computers and GSM. And when I mean history, I mean the past of computers and GSM. The computers that you see today are not always like what we have today. They graduated from one stage to the other and they kept improving until what we have today. Look at the both phones that we have on the screen. One is a feature phone, which we usually call a small phone. Is a phone with small screen and buttons. And the other one is a smartphone, which has a very large screen and it has little or no buttons. So within these two phones, which one would you like to use in them? So I know what you are thinking. I know you like to use the smartphone. So between the feature phone and the smartphone, which one is older? So kindly tell me in the comments which one do you think is older? Now, history as we know it helps us understand past events, how things started, how things change from time to time, and why things are the way they are today. Long into the past, people counted with fingers, they counted with stones, bones, and all of that thing they could find. And as time goes on, they begin to run into complex calculation in which counting stones, counting fingers, and counting bones would not suffice to be able to make those calculations. So as time goes on, abacus was being invented, and also the mechanical calculator was being invented. The abacus was being invented in China actually. So and the other one was being invented also, which is a mechanical calculator, and some other devices are being invented in which we won't be talking about. The computer as we know it developed through different stages which we call generations. So we have the generations of computer. The first generation actually as the computer is as large as the size of two or more rooms, in which it was slow, it wasn't very fast, it consumed a lot of electricity, and it generated a lot of heat, so that you may not be able to stay inside the room a computer is placed in, so that the person that operates it actually will stay outside the room to operate that particular computer. And it also used of generation or each stages of development of a computer actually use a particular technology or the technology to process data. So and by the time it reaches another stage or another development, then the technology will change, and it will make it will make the computer smaller and much more faster and efficient, because the first generation actually used to break down all the time. So and the second generation actually was better than the first, and the third generation was better than the third, and the fourth generation was better than the third. So and the third generation is when the computers started to become small. I think the third the second generation rather is big like a very large cupboard, and the third generation is big like a large desk, and the fourth generation the computer become much more small, that we are able to put a computer on our desk, and we are able to use computer at home. Computer started fitting into our bags. So that those are the fourth generation, and we have other generation also that are still in development as we speak. So I'm going to take them one by one. So we are going to know the technologies that they use to process data, how big they are, how fast they are. We are going to state each of them to. I'm going to state each of them to you. The first generation of computer. The first generation of computer from 1940s to 1950s. it used a technology called vacuum tube, which is a special glass tube to process data, and it generates a lot of heat. It consumes a lot of electricity, and it's very enormous. It's very big, that it fits into one or more rooms, and it breaks down often. So an example of a first generation of computer is ENIAC. The second generation of computer from 1950s to 1960s. The second generation of computer used transistor, which is a small, tiny electronic switch to process data. The second generation of computers shrink from the size of two or more rooms to a very large cupboard, and it generates less heat compared to the first generation, and it's very dependable. It doesn't break down easily, and it consumes less electricity compared to the first generation. The third generation of computer from 1960s to 1970s. It used integrated circuits to process data. Integrated circuit is thousands of transistors packed into a small chip, which make it easy for the size of the computer in the third generation to be smaller and to be able to shrink it to the size of a large desk. And the third generations of computer are much more faster and uh, does not emit a lot of heat compared to the first and second generations of computer. The fourth generation of computer from 1970s till present. The fourth generation of computer use microprocessor to process data. Microprocessor is packing millions of transistors into a small chip, and later it advanced to packing billions of transistors into a small chip. It makes computer relatively small that we can now put on our desk. We can use computer at home, and actually computer now fit into our bags, which are these computers that I'm talking about are the computers that we still have today. They are still being in use today. And also microprocessor made computer very small that we can still drop them into our pocket, which is our mobile devices. Most of the computers we use today are from the fourth generations of computer. We are having another computers in development, which is the fifth generation, which uses AI, which is artificial intelligence. They are the technology that can recognize voices, recognize faces. They are capable of speech. So which that is a little bit I would like to put into this as far as AI is concerned. So whenever you use a phone that you can scan your face and it unlocks, then that means your phone is actually using the fifth generation, which is AI. And the fifth generation of computer is from present to future. So it combines the power of microprocessor and AI to process data. For now, that is it for the development of computer. And we can all see that technology keep improving from one stage to the other because people keep inventing to improve human life.